Although the game itself has a substantial set of rules, the basic concepts of Upfront are fairly easy to grasp. What follows is a condensed version of how the game typically plays from setup to how the turn sequence plays out. Keep in mind that not every nuance of the rules will be covered. This video is to help you grasp the basic concept of how the game plays. Place your nation's forces into 2, 3, or 4 groups. Each group can number from 2 up to 10 soldiers. From left to right, the soldiers occupy positions inside each group as numbers 1, 2, 3, and so forth. Your groups start at range 0. Each group may take a single action per turn. You may play one of the following actions for each group: move, enter terrain, fire, rally, and other activities as dictated by the cards. You must complete one action for one group before taking another action with another group. The non-active player may not take any actions during the active player's turn, save for playing a concealment or hero card. At the end of your turn, redraw your hand until it reaches the maximum allowed limit. You may move any group so long as all the soldiers are not pinned. You may place a movement card to advance, retreat, or go sideways to another group location. When you advance, increase the ranged chit by 1. Decrease by 1 when you retreat. Moving adds +1 to the fire modifier when the group is fired upon. Keep in mind that you count the underlying terrain card, if any, when applying the +1 modifier on your group when it is fired at by the enemy. To fire at the enemy with a group, you add up the firepower rating of all the soldiers who are not pinned. You can play a fire card, whose firepower number in the circle is equal or less than the firepower rating of the group. You can play more than one fire card as long as the total is less than or equal to the firepower rating of the group. Now add up the fire strengths of the fire cards that have been played and modify by terrain, concealment, and movement. And now draw an action card for each soldier in the enemy group by position. If the total is greater than the KIA number of the soldier, he dies. If the total is less than the KIA number, but greater than the morale number, the soldier is pinned. If the soldier is already pinned, a number greater than the panic number means the soldier runs away. If the number under the 0R column on the bottom of the card is less than the panic number, the soldier is killed. When you advance a group, the range marker will change. All groups start at range 0. When you advance a group, the marker changes to range 1, and so forth. To determine the relative range between your groups and an enemy group that is opposite your own or in adjacent groups, add up the two numbers. When the numbers add up to 5, both groups are at point-blank range. If the numbers are separated by more than one letter, say Group A and Group C, then subtract 1 from the final range calculation. The hand size of your forces begin with the nationality of your soldiers. For example, the Americans will have a hand size of 6 cards. However, if the squad leader is pinned, the hand size is reduced by 1 card until he rallies. If the squad leader is killed, the hand size is reduced by 1 for 1 turn and then brought back up again if you have an assistant squad leader who is not pinned or dead. If both the squad leader and assistant squad leader are killed, your hand size is reduced permanently by 1 card. If you only have one group left, then your opponent's hand size is permanently increased by 1. You may rally from 1 to 6 soldiers depending on the number displayed on the rally card. A rally all card means that all soldiers in the group are rallied, or all soldiers in 2 adjacent groups if they are at the same range and at least one group has an unpinned squad leader, assistant squad leader, or commissar. 2 non-adjacent groups may be rallied by a rally all card if both groups have an unpinned leader. A hero card allows you to unpin a single soldier and double their firepower for the turn, except for those armed with a light machine gun who use the bracketed firepower. Remember that playing a hero card is not considered an action and can be used by the non-active player to unpin a soldier before an attack is resolved. Victory is achieved in Upfront when one of the following conditions is met: fulfill the victory conditions of the scenario, lose up to 1/2 of your own soldiers, or count up victory points that have been achieved when the final deck runs out. Upfront is a relatively simple game to play. Understanding the basic sequence will help you learn the game, although keeping the rulebook handy will be helpful when faced with the more complex rules and interaction of the game.